Here we go again. It's another week, which means we've got another video ready for you to showcase all of the regional indie MMA highlights that happened this past week so you can have purpose in life. And we couldn't do this without the help of Caposa, who you gotta be following on Twitter at Grabaka_Hitman for everyday craziness just like the clips in this video. What's up, everyone? It's the casual Lawton Vierkant, and this is Caposa's Corner. Starting us off this week, we are heading to Double G FC 7 in Seoul, South Korea. Here, we have a featherweight bout between Sangjuan Kim, who has a 6-4-1 record, and his opponent Jayhyun with an 11-14 record. Just 4 minutes in, and we're starting with a bang this week.
많은데요. 네. 오! 잡혔어. 경기 끝납니다.
An inconvenient level change, a beautiful left kick, and some unfortunate hammer fists, and this fight is over. Kim times his kick perfectly as Jay was going low, and it paid off big time. He secures this knockout win in just the first round, improves his record to 7-4-1, and gets this great knockout added to his highlight reel. Off to visit our friends at Brave Combat Federation in Minsk, Belarus for 2 fights. For the first fight, we have a light heavyweight bout that sees Kurbansho Jamolov with a 2-1 record, taking on Vadim Rolich, who also has a 2-1 record, but Vadim is actually a former European Wushu Sonda champion. We're getting close to the end of round 2, and Vadim lands this beautiful spinning back fist, but it somehow doesn't do the job. Fast forward 1 minute and we try again.
Everything from Jamolov is coming just a little bit slower. Big spinning back kick. Oh, he hurt him. He's hurt. The spinning back kick did the damage of ground point.
It's over.
It's over.
Who would have guessed the second spinning back fist was just a distraction for this devastating spinning back kick that just cripples Jamolov, and the ground and pound gets the stop. Vadim claims this win and improves his record to 3-1. For our second fight at Brave CF, you know it, we've got Caposa's KO of the week. This welterweight fight has Rinat Saginte with an insane 9-0 record, going against Dennis Maher, who also has an insane 7-0 record. Another first round finish, and did anyone order an uppercut from hell?
Fighters start ramping it up.
Oh, huge uppercut. That's absolutely huge.
Dead center, on the chin, uppercut from Dennis that sends Rinat down and confused and unable to protect himself from the ground and pound, which Dennis didn't even want to follow up, as you see him look at the ref, and as soon as the fight ends, he basically silences the crowd as he's concerned for Rinat. Props for the sportsmanship, and congratulations on your 8-0 record, and we hopefully see more of you in the future. Up next, we are going to KSW 61 in Poland for 3 fights. For the first, we have a featherweight fight between Damian Stasiak, who has a 12-7 record and a run in the UFC from 2015 to 2018, and his opponent Andrei Lesnev with a 19-9 record. Just 2 minutes in, and Stasiak gets dropped with this big right. Here's the mistake though. Andre follows him to the ground, not remembering that almost all of Stasiak's wins are by submission. Not even a minute later, and this beautiful triangle is secured, and Andre has no choice but to tap. What a great comeback after being rocked, but holding on and securing this win, improving his record to 13-7. Moving on to our second fight from KSW 61, we have a heavyweight fight between Michal Kita with a 20-12-1 record, taking on Darko Stosic with a 14-4 record, and he's another UFC vet from a few years ago. Darko is getting dominated in the first round and can't catch a break, it seems, until...
One is nice and speed. Oh, nice right hand by Stosic right there. Oh, and down Kita goes, and this could be the beginning of the end. It's all over.
Talk about a comeback, proving that sometimes all it takes is one shot. Darko lands this huge overhand right, and the ground and pound secures the win. He improves his record to 15-4 and could potentially be fighting for the KSW heavyweight belt next against Phil DeFries, so we may be seeing him again very soon. We've got one more fight at KSW, and it's a featherweight match between Filip Pajic, who has a 15-4-2 record, going against the former featherweight champion Saladin Parnassi, who has a 14-1-1 record. Nearing the end of round 2, Saladin has his back and pulls off this beautiful takedown, and guess what's coming next?
He's got the submission territory here. Pajic could suffer with this. There's the topper. Saladin Parnassi's
Oh yeah, a rear naked choke almost fully strangling Payich, forcing him to tap and securing the win for Saladin. This win improves his record to 15-1-1, and he is already saying he wants a rematch with the champ to get his belt back, so we could see him as well again very soon. Heading over to visit LFA 109 in Shawnee, Oklahoma, we have 2 fights. The first is a bantamweight bout between Justin Wetzel, who has a 6-1 record, taking on Askar, who has an 11-1 record, not to be confused with Askar Askarov, who still is in the UFC and in flyweight title contention. This is Askar, and you should remember him from earlier this year when he was scheduled to fight in the UFC, but wasn't able to get medical clearance, but since then has been cleared and is competing here at LFA. It's an aggressive first round that almost sees Askar get submitted by a guillotine, but they both survive and the first round ends. In the second round though, it is just pure domination by Justin, being on top for almost 2 full minutes, just beating down on Askar, who eventually is defenseless and forces the ref to call a stop to this one. A huge win for Justin, who's sporting a Dragon Ball Z Scouter.
8,000? No, this is impossible.
As he improves his record to 7-1, adds a great name to his resume, and hopefully this can be the push he needs so that we can see him on a larger stage here soon. We've got one more fight at LFA 109, and this one is a lightweight bout between Terrence McKinney, who has a 9-3 record, and his opponent, Michael Irizarry, who has an 11-3 record. McKinney is coming in hot and wanting that win, and just over a minute into the first round, we get this.
That momentum just lifts you off your feet. And over and out.
Dear Lord, 5 unanswered hooks right to the temple of a defenseless Michael, and this fight is over. McKinney just landed his 9th first-round victory, is on a 3-fight win streak, and improves his record to 10-3, and hopefully we see more of him in the future. Now, we are going to Battlefield Fight League 67 in Vancouver, Canada for our final 2 fights. Up first, we have a heavyweight title fight that sees current belt holder Caio Machado with a 4-1-1 record, taking on Chris Larson, who has a 5-1 record. We are just 3 minutes into the first round of this fight, and here we go.
We get deeper.
There it is. Yeah. Oh, nice left hand from Machado.
I don't think I've ever seen someone get knocked out, land on their knees so hard, and proceed to be hammer-fisted while falling into their opponent. Holy shit. I also haven't seen anyone cannonball as a celebration. Either way, Machado gains his 4th win in a row, improves his record to 5-1-1, and is still the BFL heavyweight champion. We've got our last fight this week, and still at BFL 67, we have a lightweight fight between Kevin Popowick, who has an 0-1 record, up against Nicholas Willett, who is making his professional debut. This one is for all you submission lovers. Willett is giving us a ground game clinic in this first round, landing 3 submissions in total, the first being a guillotine, which he transitions from into a triangle, and while holding the triangle, lands a Kimura, which is eventually the end-all, forcing the tap from Kevin. Nicholas makes an impressive pro debut, gains his first win, and hopefully he can keep this up in his future. Another huge shout out to Caposa for again helping us with these lists every single week. Please go give him a follow on his Twitter at Grabaka_Hitman, and you can also support him on his Patreon at patreon.com/Caposa. We also have to give a huge thanks to all of these great organizations for hosting these events year-round for our viewing pleasure, and to the fighters, winners, and losers, and we will see you all on the next video.